Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zilia. And today, in episode 3 of We Never Learn Season 2, will Sekijo or Yuiga ever learn? That's right, we'll be looking at episode 3 of Season 2 in today's review of the anime series. This episode does great things for Sekijo's character, as so far we only have seen her as a crazy scientist type lady who is head over heels for Rizu. And this episode, we actually find out why. But before that, let's quickly go over part 1 of this episode. The new haircut. So Rizu gets this new haircut, and this part of the episode also does Rizu some justice, as we've not seen much in the way of feelings from this character, especially towards any of the main cast. Rizu is a character that finds it hard to understand human emotions, as struggling to study literature at the moment because that's what she has to understand. But at the same time, she just generally doesn't understand it. She's too much of a logical person. So seeing some emotion and some more personality traits come out from her character with this part of the episode was actually quite refreshing. Now, we actually see some more feelings towards Yuiga from Rizu as a character, and this comes in a way of her not wanting him to see her new haircut. She's afraid that he'll laugh, or she just generally doesn't like it. But despite wearing a mask to hide her face, once Yuiga sees it, he's just like, huh, nothing's different about you. I wonder why you are so keen on hiding your face. Honestly, this guy is as dense as a brick sometimes, especially when it comes to women. One thing I really did like about this part of the episode though, was Furuhashi. While Rizu was wearing the mask, Yuiga was thinking to himself that it must be something to do with the bathhouse situation from last week's episode. And you see Furuhashi just kind of sat there going, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it's something to do with the bathhouse scene. Well, this isn't doing Rizu any favours because Yuiga's getting the wrong idea. So, I'll just take off the mask. And when she pulls off the mask, that's obviously when we get the dense reaction from our main protagonist. Now, this first half of the episode was a good showcasing of Rizu's feelings and personality, as we see shyness, immaturity, as well as, her affection towards Yuiga. When Yuiga basically goes on a tangent and says, tries to guess whatever is wrong and changed, well, not wrong, but what has changed in Rizu's appearance, she's angry at him for not guessing it. But when he actually says, oh, it's your expression. You used to be so stern, and now you seem like you're more part of the group. You're more happy, you're more open, and as your tutor, that makes me happy. And this actually makes Rizu blush quite a lot, and it just proves that she does in fact have feelings for Yuiga within the series. Now, the other thing I did like is the comedy in this part, especially the Sekijo falling to her knees part with blood spurting out of her nose after seeing Rizu's new look. And speaking of Sekijo, let's talk about the second half of this episode. So, the second part of this episode had a much deeper focus on the character of Sekijo, and it makes me like this character even more. Especially if you add in the last week's manga chapter, then, Sekijo for me is probably in my top 5 favourite characters for this series as a whole. Now, we learn the reason as to why Sekijo wants to be Rizu's friend, and it turns out that she had a rough time fitting in at school. Now, we've all been there, we've all been isolated, well, not isolated as such, but we've all found that one part or another, we didn't feel like we fitted in. Now, with Sekijo's character, she was too smart, and because of her good grades, she was basically seen as an outcast. And she spent a lot of time on her own, and when taking the entrance exam, she felt like she was finally saved from her loneliness and isolation. After meeting Rizu and seeing that someone else who is also smart, even smarter than her in fact, and not care about what others think about themselves, Sekijo realizes that she too needs to not let other people get her down, and just not care about what the haters have to say. Now, I will admit, saying this saved her life is a bit of a stretch, but I get where her character is coming from. Sometimes seeing someone do something that you wish so much that you yourself can do does help you to gain your confidence and boost your morale to do that specific thing. Especially when you're at a young age, you're more impressionable, so if you see someone else doing something you really want, then you're going to follow in their footsteps. And I think Sekijo's feelings maybe a little bit over the top, but I get where her character is coming from. And I really did like this deep kind of focus on her character. It gave us more lore and more kind of backstory to her character, instead of her just being this crazy, affectionate character towards Rizu. Now, all of this information came to us by Rizu needing to buy a pencil case. And then this kind of went from a pencil case to a date. We all know how over the top Sekijo can be. And she basically plans this big list of things that they want to do together. Like, she's not often able to go out with Rizu, the person that she feels like saved her life. It took her 3 years to basically get the courage to finally talk to her. And then, even while doing this, Sekijo makes the biggest and kindest actions she could do by giving up her precious time with her new friend to try and make Rizu happy. Once Yuiga arrives on the scene, Sekijo's like, I've got this list of things that I want to do. But at the same time, Rizu would be happier if she was with her tutor. So I'll give up my time and let Rizu go with him. And she does this and she runs off. And then this is where we find out her backstory and why she's all alone again. And that's just how she feels. But little did she know, Rizu just wanted to be with her. And before you take it the wrong way, she does not want it to end like this. But overall, this was a great episode. And that's going to do it for this review. It was a fantastic episode with a really good meaning behind it. And that being, you just have to ignore negativity around you sometimes. People can be negative, but as long as you're happy with yourself, then that's all that matters. And sometimes it takes you yourself to do it, and other times it does take an example to follow. And that's okay. And that's the deep message that was hidden within this episode that I really did appreciate and like. We Never Learn does have these little kind of meanings in some of their episodes and manga chapters, and this is certainly one of them that you should definitely take to heart if you need to. The animation was great throughout, voice acting was good, and the sound effects were nice as well. The facial expressions, again, funny, comedic. This episode was laughable, as in, it made you laugh. It was a very good focused episode, gave you some more good insight on characters, and if you haven't watched it yet, I would highly recommend to do so. But other than that, I hope you'll have an amazing day. Like the video if you did, subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me, and I'll be catching you next time. Goodbye for now.